Hello and welcome to Verbling. I'm teacher Oakley, and for the next hour we will be learning vocabulary which is related to higher education, university, college, getting your degree, all of that fun stuff. We will be doing this through a mixture of exercises, fill in the blank exercises, perhaps a little mix and match, and discussion as well. Okay, that's the plan. Let me welcome students to the class. Hello, Jacqueline.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you today?
Fine, thanks.
Okay. Where are you from, Jacqueline?
I'm from Colombia.
Okay. Great. Welcome to the class. Also, I'd like to welcome Tatiana. Hi, Tatiana.
Hi, teacher. How about you?
How about me? I'm fine. How are you?
It's all going really well. Thanks.
Okay. Tatiana, your microphone, your audio is very, very clear. It's a little bit low. I don't know if you can adjust that. If you can't, don't worry about it. I can just try to listen carefully.
No.
It's very
Yes.
clear, so no worries. Okay. Heidi, welcome to the class. How are you today?
Hello, nice to see you again.
Nice to see you as well. And welcome. And hello, Carolina.
Hello, teacher.
Hi, Carolina. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you for asking.
Great. Always a pleasure to have you in the class. Okay. Okay. Darn it. Shibagaki, hello. How are you? And
hi, Mr. Oakley. Hi, hello. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm sorry. It escapes me. You would like me to address you. How would you like me to address you? I've forgotten. It slipped my mind. I'm terribly
sorry. Yeah, please call me Ryota.
Okay. Again?
Yeah, Ryota.
Yota. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Sorry, my apologies. I'm getting.
No, it's not. No. Thank you, Mr. Oakley.
It's my only excuse. Okay, welcome to the class. Good to see you, Yota. Thank you.
Yeah, good to see you.
Understanding. Okay. Keiko, howdy. Welcome.
Hi, teacher. I'm fine.
Great.
Thank you. And you?
I'm doing okay. Thank you. Good to have you back in class again. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to do a screen share, and we're going to do some fill-in-the-blank exercises to start out with. Again, we're going to be looking at some verbs which we use discussing, talking about after school, getting ready to go to university. Later we'll talk about different things like majors and daily activities at university. Okay, there's still room in the class. If others would like to join us, come on in anytime. It's not a problem. Okay, let's get started. Let me just get this up on screen. Okay. Okay, a couple of phrasal verbs here, some very simple verbs, talking about getting ready after high school. Okay, Jacqueline, can you please just read the text? We'll go sentence by sentence. The first one has a couple of blanks. That's fine. Try to fill in the blanks with these words up above here, which you feel are most suitable. Go ahead, Jacqueline.
When I go to 16, some of my friends stay on school to get jobs. but most mm, left.
I think I think it might be the other way around, Jacqueline, because to get jobs. So I think it's probably the other way around. They left school to get jobs,
Okay.
but most stayed on.
Oh.
Right? Okay, in Colombia, where you live, can you leave school at 16 and go get a job?
I don't know. Formal jobs? No, I don't know. I don't think so. But informal jobs, it's very possible.
Okay. All right. In the United States, for example, if you have your parents' permission, you can quit school at 16 years old, not before. Then, frankly, it's illegal. But you can quit school at 16 and get a job if you have your parents' permission. It's possible to do that. Okay, but most stayed on. Okay, they continued with school. Okay, let me a couple new students or old students are back. Let me quickly, before we continue, welcome Diego. Hi, Diego.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Nice to see you again. As well as Geverson. Hello.
Hello, okay. How are you?
Ah, hi. I'm okay. Nice to see you again. Maybe it's my headphones. Let me try adjusting my headphones. Maybe it's me. Your microphone seems a little low, but maybe it's me. Let me make some adjustments. Okay, let's continue. Tatiana, can you continue with the next sentence?
I wanted to apply sociology, but it wasn't possible at my school. So I got in the local technical college.
Okay, let me help you out here. When we're talking about entering a specific course, like sociology here, for example, I wanted to do sociology. Okay, we can use the simple verb do. So if you're talking about your course in school, oh, I'm doing IT, I'm doing nursing. All right. So I wanted to do sociology, common to talk about the future, but it wasn't possible at my school, so now maybe applied. So I applied to. You apply to a college. You apply to get into an organization. You might apply to, for example, an exclusive golf club to try to join the golf club. You apply to a university, you apply to a college. You apply for a job. All right, so we use a different preposition. But I think now your second answer here, so I got into the local technical college. Okay, that is actually grammatically correct. You could say that actually works perfectly fine, but I think first you apply and then later you get in, maybe. Okay, continuing from there, Heidi, please.
Yeah.
Okay, reading from there, reading the rest.
There were over 50 applicants for only 20 places. So I was really pleased when I really enjoyed the course.
Okay.
When I stayed on.
Stayed on means you continue being in or involved in something.
When I got in.
Got in, Right. Okay, so you're allowed to enter. So there's the get in part. You get into university. Oh, I got my letter from Brown University. I got in. All right, they accepted my application. I got in. I was accepted, you might say. Got in is more informal. Okay, so hooray. You got out of school and got accepted. Now let's try another round with some new related words here. We got some nouns this time. Okay, Carolina, starting from I here.
Okay. I had wanted to be a doctor, but the college requirements to study medicine at the university are very high, and my exam degree? No.
No.
My exam
That,
results?
yes, has to do with your score, my exam
Yeah.
scores, or my exam results.
Weren't good enough, so I got the diploma.
Okay.
I got the degree from my local.
Could, all right. Well, when you get a degree, you get your diploma. So actually, either one. But if you read on, if you read a little forward, you got this blank to see what alternatives there were. So he's just looking for what possibilities before he enters a school.
Prospectus?
There you go. Okay.
I got the prospectus for my local
Whoops.
entry.
No. He's trying to get into school. So he can't get into medicine at university. So you got the prospectus, what are the courses available, what degrees are available from his local, instead of university, from my local
College?
There you
College?
go. Mm-hmm.
To see what alternatives there were.
Okay, let's go through this whole thing here. I wanted to be a doctor, but actually, I forgot what you said, but it should be entry requirements.
Okay.
Okay, in order to be accepted, you have to pass certain requirements. So the entry requirements are very high. Okay, they're not all nouns. Like, all right, so that's an adjective, high. Okay. All right, my exam results weren't good enough to get into university, so I got the prospectus. Now there's you can get a prospectus from a university. You can get a business prospectus. This is the perspective or the idea written down very formally to start a business. Okay, a prospectus will will inform you exactly about what you can expect, what prospects are there for that action from my local college. Okay, now I have to say that it's a little different, the British higher education and American higher education. And I don't know what it's like where you guys live. For the British, college and university are kind of two different things. University is more, it has a higher reputation. It's more difficult to get into a university as opposed to a college, which is a little less strenuous to get into, as you can see from this information. If you couldn't get into a university, you'd get into a college. for example. In American higher education, that's not true at all. There are certain colleges that have a much higher reputation than other universities. In general, in the United States, universities they're state universities. Every state has a University of California, University of Wisconsin, University of Washington, whatever. Every state has a state university. In fact, they probably have many state universities, but they could be a huge one with a huge reputation. They could be a very, very small university, unknown maybe even to most people. And colleges in the United States have a very, very strong reputation as a private college. Colleges are more private, or it could be a very small kind of local college. So there's no real strong difference between university and college in American culture. Just universities are generally state and colleges are generally private. So not always, though. Even that's not an absolute. There are small state-run colleges as well. So there's really, in American culture, there's not much difference. It all depends on the individual reputation of that learning institution. Okay. Carolina, is there a difference between college and university in your country? Or are they pretty much the same, just a name?
We don't have college in Colombia, I think so. We
Okay.
only have a school, primary school and secondary school, and then university.
Okay. So you don't even use the terminology
Yeah.
college. Okay. Interesting. So it's a little bit different in different places. Okay. Let's continue. Yota, can you read the next part from in the end?
Yes. In the end, I got onto a course in business administration.
Okay.
I got a degree, actually. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Slight difference. This material is very British. An American would probably say, I got into a course. No, not probably. We would. As an American, I can tell you, we would. Got into a course in business administration. All right. All right, fine. Okay, I got a degree. Well, you can also say if you instead of okay, another slight difference, American and British English. You can take a course, adult education in whatever, in word processing, in you can take a course in auto mechanics. So just taking a course does not have to mean getting a degree. All right. Course can be used for one individual set of classes, or it can be used for a whole bunch of different classes that you would need to get a degree, to get enough credits for a degree. So it really there's kind of two meanings there. Obviously here, this person is pursuing a degree. By the way, there's another collocation. You pursue a degree if you're in the middle of doing it. Okay. All right, Yota had part of this. Keiko, can you finish off this section here?
I got a diploma, but I still sometimes wish I'd I've been able to go to university and get another degree.
Yeah, another degree. Okay. Yeah. I don't really understand this, actually. I would agree with you, Keiko. Another degree. If you get your diploma, you get your degree. If you graduate
Yeah,
either university or college, this doesn't make sense to me here. I'm with you. Exactly. It's really the same thing. So for an American, if I say I have a degree in business and administration, that certainly means I got my diploma, because when you graduate, you get a diploma. The diploma is both the idea that you graduated and the actual physical piece of official paper that says that you graduated. That physical object is your diploma as well.
yeah, maybe teacher, as this is a technical course in UK, in the UK.
Yeah,
It could be got a diploma and then get a degree. Okay.
yeah. Yeah, it's a little confusing for me, the whole British thing. It's pretty straightforward in American education. Uh, they both mean
Teacher,
the same thing. Here's a yes.
it looks like a certificate.
Mm-hmm.
Is this is like a course that you just get a paper that just proves that you did?
Right. Okay. See, in American education, that doesn't exist. You can't. Nobody goes to school and gets a certificate. Nobody, actually. If you want to learn to be a plumber, you can get a plumber's license when you graduate plumber school. I know that this whole idea of a certificate is most of the rest of the world. You guys understand this. It's very strange for me because it doesn't exist in American culture. There's no such thing, really. For example, if I went to this community college, as what we've been looking at, and maybe I don't get a bachelor's degree. If I go for 2 years in American culture, you get an associate's degree. That's a 2 year. All right, but it's still a degree. You still get your diploma. I got my associate's. I got my diploma and my associate's degree. Generally, 4 years would be your bachelor's. Uh, a bachelor's degree, and 6 to 8 years, probably 8. You're talking about your master's degree. So this is how it works in, at least in American culture. Okay, so you want to be a dentist or a doctor, whatever. Or a lawyer. Well, not necessarily. You don't need a master's degree to be a lawyer in America. Actually, in America, for a lawyer to be a lawyer, you don't even have to get a degree. All you have to do is pass the bar exam. Anyway, okay, so here's some information about British education. They refer to further education, getting a vocational course or degree. I believe what you were talking about is sort of a certification or something. So I think that's what they're talking about. Equivalent in American society would be an associate's degree. Higher education, what British call higher education, Americans would refer to as getting your bachelor's. And so it's a little bit confusing. It's quite different. American and British higher education. For Americans, higher education is anything after any education whatsoever after high school. Okay. Did I confuse everyone? Does anybody have any questions? I know that was kind of confusing. All right. If not, let's move on. Let's talk about the money. And as you should know, university is expensive. Okay, let's look at some more information talking about the money involved in university education. Let me quickly welcome David. Sorry, David, didn't see you sneak into class. Greetings to you. Welcome. Hello. Okay, I'll talk to you in just a minute. Diego, can you read the first
Okay,
couple sentences here?
Okay. Going to university is expensive. First, there is the tuition, accommodation.
No. Accommodation is where you live. Your apartment is your accommodation or your house.
Okay. Part-time.
No. Tuition refers, well, it's also a money word. You have to pay tuition. Tuition is the money that the university takes for each of your classes, or sometimes you pay by the credit. Same difference.
Okay. Loan.
Well, you may get a loan to help you pay the tuition, but
Okay,
first,
fees.
fees. Right, there you go.
Okay.
First, the tuitions are
Okay.
usually spoken
When
as a
you
fee.
start.
Yeah, when you start. That's right. That's the
Okay.
first expense you have to pay for how many classes you take.
Okay.
Okay, and then there's more. So let's look at more. Geverson.
Hello.
Hi. Okay. From then, I can hear you louder now. It seems better. Maybe it was my
It was
headset. Anyway.
because I turned a little up the volume.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay. Thank you.
No problem. Then there are all books you need. Then if you live away from home, you have to pay for your accommodation.
There you go. Where you live. That's it. Very good. Your accommodation, where you live, doesn't matter where you live. You live in a cave. You live in a house made of sticks. You live in a hole in the ground. You live in a house. You live in an apartment. That's your accommodation. Okay. Great. David, can you take over? David, are you there? Okay. Not sure. All right, David, if you can, give me a shout out so I know that we can interact. All right, let me go back to Jacqueline then. Jacqueline, can you read the next couple of sentences, please?
The university halls of residence are not cheap. Then you have all your other living accommodation.
No. Accommodation is the place where you live. So,
Living expenses.
yes, very common co-location. Your living expenses. Jacqueline, what would be your living expenses? What do they mean?
The money that you need to pay for living in a house.
Well, for what? No,
Um,
that's your money for accommodation. That's your rent or the money you pay for accommodation. It says, okay, the university halls of residence are not cheap, so that's your rent. Then you have your other living expenses
for
beside.
example, the food.
For example, you're going to need food. Yes, exactly. Right. Absolutely. You're going to need food. You probably wear clothes, right, Jacqueline? You wear clothes, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so do
Yes.
I. We have something in common. Look at that. Okay. Me too. I also wear clothes. Okay, so those are living expenses. Your clothing, your food, whatever. If you buy deodorant or bathroom supplies, toothpaste. These are living expenses. Okay. Now, another thing, university halls of residence. Just so you know, no American would ever use this big long expression. We would simply call it a dormitory. Okay, some people, when they go to university, they live in the dormitory, or more commonly spoken, dorm. I'm living in a dorm. That's it. Other people live off campus. Commonly, we say, oh, Bobby lives off campus on Oak Street. Most likely that means he has an apartment. Okay, and even the university will help you find off-campus housing if you are looking for it. So more formally, off-campus housing. All right. Okay, moving on. Tatiana.
I'm here.
Good.
A few students get a part-time. No.
Okay.
No. A few students get a part-time, but most have to take out a student.
Okay. They're talking about here how they pay.
Pay.
Okay. So, a few students get a something, but most have to take out a student from the bank, which can take years to pay off.
Yeah.
So true. Okay, there's two ways to pay for university, primarily. Two ways to pay.
But must have to take out a student loan from the bank, which can take years to pay off.
Yeah, very good. The collocation, a student loan.
Loan, yes, loan.
So the first one, a few students, a few lucky students, or smart students, or very industrious, busy students can get a grant.
Grant, yes, grant.
Right. Now, again, most in America, we generally don't call it a grant, we call it a scholarship. I got a scholarship from my local Rotary Club when I went to university. Thank you, Rotary. And yeah, I was lucky enough to get a scholarship from my local Rotary Club. I got another scholarship from, in America at least, these grants, they are grants, but usually we call it a scholarship, are available from government agencies, from NGOs, from corporations, all over the place. I remember looking at the book for possible scholarships or grants you could apply for. There are literally like 10,000 different possible scholarships. Some of them are incredibly specific. We are looking for a student who is under the average weight for an 18-year-old who is interested in chess and also it has very high math scores in the SAT. Some of them are ridiculously specific. Anyway, those are scholarships or grants. And in the United States, a student loan is available to everybody. There's no free university. However, anybody can get a student loan. There's no, that you cannot be denied. So anyone can get a student loan, and the interest rate is relatively low. It's like 1.5%, I think, per annum, yearly. However, of course, it's going to be a lot of money. Tatiana, how about where you live? How do people pay for university? Grants and loans? Or
Now students pay instead, but when I was young, my studying wasn't pay.
oh, you didn't have to pay.
Yes.
Yeah, little difference there. Yeah, you should say I didn't have to pay. It wasn't required to pay, rather than it wasn't paid. That makes it sound like you were supposed to pay, but you didn't. You snuck away somehow. You escaped. Okay. Uh, all right. Last line here. Heidi?
Most students have to do part-time job in order to survive.
Okay. In the United States, that's also very true. I had to work part-time all through university. How about in Japan, Heidi? Is it normal for students to work a part-time job at
Yes,
university?
it's normal.
Yeah. Do they have job placement? Do they have? Does the university provide placement opportunities?
No, the
No.
student need to look for any part-time job by themselves.
Okay. Usually in the United States, they'll help you, and often there are part-time jobs on campus, working in the bookstore, working in the library, being a tutor, um, working in the cafeteria, cleaning up the dormitories, whatever. There's lots of jobs like that. Generally, you find students doing is quite normal. Okay, let's talk about Students Week. Typical stuff a student does during their normal course of their schooling. Okay, we'll go 1, 2, 3. Each student will take a number here. Carolina, number 1.
I've got two seminars or
No.
lectures. Lectures.
Yeah, probably simply because it has an S. It is
Yeah.
possible that you would have 2 seminars. Yeah, not wrong, but obviously it has to be plural because of the 2.
Okay. I have got two lectures this morning, and then I need to go to the library to do some background notes before tomorrow. Or reading.
Probably you do some reading. You make some notes or take some notes. If you went to the library to make or take some notes before tomorrow would be the verb. So with this verb, yeah, you're going to do some reading. It would have to be. Right. Okay, I've got 2 lectures. Sometimes it would also be appropriate to say I've got 2 classes this morning. There are different types of classes, okay? There are lecture classes. There are laboratory classes, lab classes. Sometimes they're actually scientific laboratory classes. Sometimes you have a language lab class, for example. You're not experimenting on frogs or mice or anything, but you're doing more interactive study. You're not just listening to a lecture. So, okay. So 2 classes would be very normal, as well as rather than saying lecture. Okay, moving on. Yota, number 2.
Yes, on Wednesday, I've got to give a short presentation at my English options.
I've got to give a short presentation at my English
Option.
I don't think. No, that doesn't really work.
Okay.
No. Um, Probably at my English seminar here.
Okay.
At a seminar, it works with the preposition. Okay. All right. He's got to give a presentation, a short presentation. All right, that's strong collocation. A seminar is like a special course or something. We often, basically, for an American, I would never use this at university. That's weird. For an American, a seminar is a special course you do kind of outside. Probably would not be worth college credits. You go to a seminar, you attend a seminar, it's a special course. Often nothing to do with university. Businessmen go on seminars all the time. They take a special course in management training or whatever. You know, it's like a special course. You can go to a seminar for self-improvement. I went to a seminar on the power of me for a weekend, something like that. Kind of specialized course. Okay, Yota, have you ever attended a seminar of any type?
Yes. So we went to. I'm working real estate, so I went to a real estate seminar before.
I bet you did. Yeah, real estate is famous for having seminars.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Absolutely. I bet you did. Okay, Keiko, number 3.
I can't go to my history lecture on Thursday morning. I'll ask Jeff to pick up an extra copy of the blank, and I can of the presentation.
Well.
And I can borrow his lecture. Borrow his lecture notes.
Yeah, his lecture notes. Borrow his notes. Yeah, students do that all the time, borrow each other's notes, especially if they're going to miss a lecture or a class. The first one, however, I'll ask Jeff to pick up an extra copy of the, it could be, you know, a copy of the presentation if, sure, and if somebody who's giving a presentation, they're going to probably give a handout of the copy of the presentation. When you attended today's class, hopefully you downloaded the handout before the class. So if one of your friends here at Verbling couldn't attend the Verbling class today, they could get a copy of the handout so that they would know what was going on in the class. Which, okay, a handout, this information we're looking at right now is in the handout. Okay, so the handout, if there was a presentation specifically in this class, then the handout would probably outline or show the slides or whatever of whatever the information was in the presentation. Right. Okay, moving on. Diego, number 4.
Okay. Professor Barnett is the only lecturer who gives handout, and he's reading options.
Well, kind of. Yeah. Kind of. Yeah. What they're talking about is a list well, okay, I just said it, so
Okay.
I didn't mean to, but I did. His reading list. That would be a
Okay.
list of options of extra class reading to help you understand the material. So it
Okay.
would be a list of options. Yeah. Okay, I don't know about where you guys all go to school, but in American University, they will sometimes, not always, sometimes they'll let you pick your own reading and you have to go do research at the library and figure it out for yourself. Sometimes they'll give you a list of books that would help you in the course. And often they will require some reading, and it's a lot of reading. You're going to have to read a lot of material to really understand what's going on. So,
Yes.
yeah. If the professor gives you handouts with like outlines of the material, he gives you a reading list, suggested reading material for the course that can help you understand it. It helps a lot. Many do not. You just have to figure it out for yourself. Waste a lot of time at the library searching.
Yes.
Yeah.
In my country, this name reading list is biography.
Bibliography.
Yes, yes.
That is correct. Very good. That is the more formal name for it, and yeah, you're absolutely right. Very good. Thank you for reminding me of that word. Yes, that's exactly what it is. Very good. Thanks, Diego. Geverson, number 5.
I'm finding this difficult, but let's go. Later in the week, I've got to see my options to decide what
Let me help you out here. I've got to see my, okay, it's a person. All right.
Sorry, teacher, I did not understand.
Okay, in the first blank, I've got to see he's got to see a person. Which of these?
My tutor?
Yeah.
My
okay.
tutor? Okay, okay. Let me see. I've got to see my tutor to decide what what I don't know if could say what seminar I'm going to do next term.
You decide or figure out. You figure out your options. You decide on your options.
Okay.
So there's your options. Decide what options I'm going to do next term. Yeah.
Term. Okay.
Right. Well, this is a little strange to me. Again, I can only relate American university life, but in general, in American university, you have an advisor. You may have 2 advisors. Depends on the university. You could have a student advisor. That's somebody who's probably, like when you're a freshman or a sophomore, you have a senior who can help you figure things out. Or you could have actually a professor who acts as your advisor, who you may talk to once or twice in a semester, who can also advise you what courses you should take and like that.
I had one of this. It was when I was near to the end of the college. Like to present my final work. So I had a teacher a professor, sorry, who teaches me and gave me a lot of advices.
Yeah, advice. Garrison,
Advice.
Yeah, advice is uncountable, so there's no such word as advices in English.
Hmm.
He give you advice.
Okay.
Right. That would be very common to have an advisor um, to do your. Now I've lost it out of my brain. I had it just a minute ago. Your final paper presentation. What's it called? Anybody in class? Before you graduate, you have to do your. Yeah,
Mm,
gone.
Thesis?
Thank you. Thank you, Carolina.
thank you.
Your thesis paper, your thesis presentation, which may involve a paper and a presentation, actually. You may have to defend your thesis in front of
Okay.
other professors. Right, and you're generally going to be assigned an advisor for that. Absolutely. Right. So this is strange to me. I got to see my tutor. Maybe. Tutor is like a student advisor, maybe. Yeah, okay. Fine. Okay. Let's look at this for a second. University teachers are called lecturers. Well, okay, sure, I guess. In the UK, the heads of university departments and some very important academics are professors. Okay, professor's not used for any other kind of teacher. As it says here, in America, professor is anybody who's teaching at university. There are student teachers, they're not called professors, but basically anybody who's in charge of a class is a professor. And you can refer to them as professor, as in, Professor, I have to ask, would it be okay if I turned in my essay after the weekend instead of on Friday? Which would be the kind of question that I would ask the professor. Can I be late again? Anyway. Okay, so all right, they have different terminologies. In British, you would talk about lecturers as opposed to professors. In America, they're all professors. You wouldn't really say he's a lecturer. You just wouldn't say that. You just call him the professor. Okay, Geverson. Okay, is that all right? I don't know if that's an example or what. Okay, let's see in the last few minutes here if we can talk about subjects and specialists. We're looking for the person whose subject is this over here. Okay, so David is gone now. All right, Jacqueline, who is the person whose specialty is physics?
Physician?
No. No.
I don't.
That does anybody know? Anybody know? Who does physics? That would be a physicist. Okay. I know it has PHY, which would seem to be directly related to physical, right, and physical things, but a physicist is actually concerned with the physical universe. It's more the scientific principles of things like gravity, time, and space. Okay, so a physicist, not like a doctor who's going to fix your physical body, but somebody who studies the physical universe. Okay, Tatiana, who studies philosophy?
Philosophist?
No, here instead of the IST suffix, we're going to use the ER suffix. So he would be a,
Philosopher?
there you go. All right. Tatiana, are you a philosopher?
I think yes.
Yeah. Okay. Amateur philosopher?
Every woman is philosopher.
Ah, I see. Every woman is a philosopher. Okay. All right. I'll buy that. I believe you. I trust you. Okay. Very good. All right. Awesome. Carolina, who is an expert or a specialist in psychology?
Psychologist.
Psychologist. That's right.
Yes.
And what does he study? What is psychology the study of?
The mind of the human being.
Yep,
Yep.
that's right. The mind. Although occasionally they do a psychological experiment on monkeys. I don't know, whatever. But yeah, you're exactly right. The study of the human mind. Yota, sociology.
Yeah, sociologist.
Sociologist. What are we studying in sociology?
So they studying sociality or
Mm-hmm.
social people or the relationship of the people.
Yep. Relationships of people. Society. That's right.
Mhm.
Very good.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Keiko, who is an expert in architecture?
Architect.
Of course. And what does he do? What is he concerned with?
He develops architectural projects of
Sure.
buildings,
Okay.
decoration of interiors.
Okay. Yeah, he's concerned with
A
buildings.
lot of design.
Yeah, primarily buildings, but possibly other structures like bridges or whatever. But yeah, stadiums, right? Right. Be careful about using the word develop because then you're getting into somebody else's area. A developer is more concerned with architect's going to design the building, but a developer is going to be concerned with the monetary aspects, buying the land, leveraging a buy of the land, working with the banks, getting people to buy his buildings, all that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Right.
he comes up with new solutions in terms of design.
The architect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Diego, history. The guy who's an expert in history is
Historicist?
hysterical.
No.
No, that's not it.
Historicist?
Historian.
Historian. Okay.
Here we have the IAN suffix or ending. And okay, obviously he's concerned with what?
What? Sorry?
Obviously he's concerned with history. It's a pretty obvious one. Okay, it is what it is. The study of history. Yes. Okay. It's just too obvious. Okay, Jacqueline, back to you. Mathematics is a...
Mathematical.
Sorry?
Mathematical.
No, mathematical is the adjective. A mathematical equation. All right? That's the adjective. The person is a mathematician. Mathematician. Okay, he's the person. He is obviously concerned with, clearly, math. Okay. By the way, Americans say math, no S. British say maths with an S. Just so you know, we definitely speak that differently. Okay. Next, Tatiana, chemistry. Person who does chemistry. Chemist. Just drop the RY. Is a chemist. And obviously he's
Chemist.
concerned with, obviously, chemicals.
Chemicals.
Sure, the mixing of chemicals. All right. Carolina, number 9, astronomy is done by an
astronomist.
Yeah, and what is his focus?
He's focused on the planets or star.
Sure, absolutely, very good.
He's always in the space.
His head is in space. All right, that's it. And the last one, engineering is obviously done by an engineer, and we are actually out of time and overtime. Thank you, everyone, for attending the class. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you next time here on
Bye,
Verbally.
teacher.
Thank you,
Bye for
teacher.
now.
Okay, thank